Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Solana, seeing what's going on. I got a request from our community member here. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek. Who was it that asked for this? Solana. Thank you very much, Archon21. I believe that's a newer premium member. I greatly appreciate you requesting this and, of course, being part of our community. Absolutely awesome. So, what we want to do is talk a little bit about some interesting stuff here with Solana. There are some cool charts here. Elliott wave is looking like a potential play out for another higher high after establishing our lower low, or sorry, correction, higher low. Right, we got two higher lows and three higher highs to complete this pattern. We're roughly, 4/5 the way through, so that's a good sign. We've also got a chart pattern here as well. If you zoom out a little bit with an inverse head and shoulders pattern, so also very, very good sign. So you combine multiple patterns together, you can get some pretty good results there. So hypothetically, this could be the bottom and we could see a bounce. Once again, that comes with a caveat. How well is Bitcoin going to perform? If Bitcoin drops again pretty hard, which we're seeing here at the moment, still retesting that 26.6 range, we're going to see a correction from Solana as well. Okay. All right. So if you're new to the channel, just know I'm not a financial advisor. I love to teach people to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. If you do want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site. And jump on over to our Discord. We got some amazing traders over here. Great work here. Very well done on that. Gilia, correct me if I'm wrong. I'd love to hear how to pronounce your name correctly, but I thank you so much for sharing your results with us. Also, some quick results for us too. We took a nice lever short 7 days ago. Well, more like 9 days ago. This closed 2 days ago. 121% profit and 51% from Avalanche in roughly 3 days. Again, we're more short heavy right now, but we still got a few longs as well. So in truth, some really cool stuff's going to happen here with some of our signals. So greatly appreciate the wonderful feedback I've received. Thank you so much for knowing that that's making a positive impact in your portfolios. Happy to hear it. Again, you want to become part of that, cryptocash.tech is a site link down below. So let's talk about the larger time frames and work our way down here, okay? Just because Elliott wave is coming through, right? It doesn't mean it's official. Okay. Now you keep in mind these dotted lines does imply that the price action could come lower. Okay. But the truth is this low here should definitely be higher than this low. Okay. So the price does pull back in order to fulfill this wave. It needs to come down somewhere in the range of just say $20, 21, or 22 as a rough estimate. Okay. So again, tentatively the bottom is in, but we want to look at a few other things. The few other things we want to look at here, let me just go ahead and remove this alert because I know we've already crossed that bridge, is the RSI. We're at 50 on the RSI, are getting very close to it. Okay. It's commonly a bouncing point. So a lot of times you'll see 50 on the RSI align with itself with some key level Fibonacci retracements. And what we want to look at here, in fact, let's go ahead and get rid of this guy and stretch this out a little bit, just so we can understand here specifically. 0.618, this guy here at $21 is a common characteristic. It's very common for that Fibonacci retracement level to bounce. Okay, 0.5 and 0.618 are two common bouncing points. Kind of the golden pocket, as some might say, where it's just like that little sweet spot where the price action likes to pull back. That's exactly why Elliott wave exists. It's based off Fibonacci retracement in a lot of ways, where it does anticipate this next leg up will be a 1.618. Again, 0.618 is a very, very common theme in trading and, of course, nature as well. You'll see that that is just a really normal thing. Look up Fibonacci sequence for some fun one day if you're ever interested. What I'm getting at here is Solana is performing quite normal, right? It's bouncing off this tentative support at 0.5. We could see as low as 0.618 and 0.786, but $20 to $21 would be solid entries here for this coin. Again, based on this current movement. Okay. Now you got to recognize too, we still haven't found the bottom yet, so just taking along right now just may not seem like the best fit. Main reason why is because even though we're above 50 in the RSI, we're diverging on the MACD officially here. So that's typically a sign in which the price could continue lower now that we've crossed that plane. Truth is today's candlestick hasn't officially closed yet, but it's safe to presume we're getting close. Take a look also at the moving averages. We have three supporting factors here, all averaging themselves out here between $20 and $21. So that is a sweet, sweet thing here. We love to see that. Oftentimes you will see the 20-day SMA start a new trend. So this could very well be a bouncing point for us. Okay? So just note, we are in a position right now where we're getting fairly close. Okay? That said, let's take a quick look at a few other key factors here. Looking at the 4-hour, let's go ahead and kind of identify a few things here. Let's go ahead and remove this guy, take a look at some liquidity levels. We can see we have some liquidity at the current price point. We've also got a fair value gap just below here, right closer to $20. So once more, that kind of reaffirms that an entry closer to $20 to $21 would make a little bit more sense right now, because just because we're ascending positively on the daily 20-day SMA doesn't mean we're going to hold that, and just because we're holding at 0.5 in Fibonacci also doesn't imply that we're going to maintain. Keep in mind, Bitcoin is dropping, and if Bitcoin continues to drop, we're going to see a similar scenario here from Solana. Good news is Solana is bottoming out fairly well at this 2180 mark, where Bitcoin's kind of going retarded on us sideways. Apologize the French. I use that and only in the context of the charts, not anything else. This is a special needs, okay? That's probably a better way to put it. All right, so again, that said though, with Bitcoin being special, right? Solana is doing fairly well, all things considered, but it does look like it wants to drop and hit some kind of lower levels there. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at there. A 4-hour time frame, last but not least, take a look at the RSI. We're getting closer to that lower point. It's common to see a bounce when the RSI hits 30 on the 4-hour. Okay, so we saw a 30 bounce here. Price inevitably went up. Granted, market recovered quite well back then. We have seen a few instances where 30 hits, it does recover, and then it dies off for a dead cat bounce. Okay, so once more, absolutely no guarantees we're just going to skyrocket from here. But I do think that $20 should provide a solid support because again, I have this level drawn out here from previous ranges where I think it was based on volume profile, if I recall correctly, at least at the time. We have a strong support here right there at about $20. So anywhere between 20 and 24, we have a tremendous amount of support for Solana based on volume, and that's an important factor to recognize. If we do lose 20, keep in mind we could see a free fall, a relapse, so to speak, down to the lower levels. But hopefully we can finish our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC pattern from Elliott Wave first. Last but not least, the hourly. Let's just go ahead and wrap this up here so you guys can move on with your day. Ichimoku Cloud confirming that we should have closed our short position by now. Keep in mind, opening a new one may not be the worst consideration. I do feel like we could still see a little bit more of a drop. But if you want to get some skin in the game, low position size, low leverage here in the near future. Okay, make sure that you do not take a massive position size right now because there's no guarantees it's going to bounce. It is telling us, though, that this momentum to the downside is slowing down. We compare this with Bitcoin's behavior. Look at how well Solana is doing in contrast to Bitcoin. Bitcoin struggling, Solana struggles but holds. Okay? Keep in mind, you can only do that for so long. It is on the razor's edge, so there's a great chance we could see a lower level here. A lot of times you'll see the price action continue like this and then work its way down into somewhat of a rectangle breakdown pattern. So we're so far forming that, okay? So do not leave this conversation saying I'm going with hearing me say go long right now to the moon. That's not the case. I do think though there is a potential for the price action to recover, potentially bounce off of once again 20, 21, or this 2175 range to the upside there to hit that 1.618 Fibonacci level, which once more as a target would potentially be roughly about $26, $27. Again, just retesting or breaking this most recent high, sweeping that liquidity, and then coming back down potentially for an ABC pattern, which would look something like that. Okay, so we'll see. We'll keep a closer eye on this here. Thanks again for the request. Greatly appreciate that. Once more, I'll go ahead and make sure that I let you know that we're all set there. But appreciate it, Archon or Recon, however you want to call it, for the heads up on this guy. All right. So hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.